Hi guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another reading vlog. I haven't done a reading vlog in a very long time, and yeah, I'm very excited to be doing a vlog. I haven't done one since, I think it was like back in January or something. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think it was like January when I last did a reading vlog. I had one planned in February, but that just didn't go ahead because of reasons. So yeah, I'm very excited to be back vlogging, and this vlog might look a little bit different to what you're used to from me, because I've been thinking a lot about how I could make my vlogs a little bit more interesting and a bit more entertaining for people to watch, because I know that vlogs don't get as many views as other videos, and I think that's the same for everybody. And yeah, I've just been wanting to experiment a little bit and see what works, see what doesn't work in terms of editing and storytelling, because like a vlog is like a story. It's the story of my day or my week or whatever. So yeah, I've got some ideas. I don't know what this vlog is going to look like at the end of this week, but hopefully it will be something watchable. We'll see how it goes. I don't know like how these cupboards work. I've only had this kitchen for a little while and I'm still like really confused about how these cupboards work. But anyway, so it is Monday morning and it's pretty early. I was forced up quite early because one of my pictures decided to fall off the wall and it was really loud. And at first I thought it was the kitchen shelves that had fallen. So I was out of bed in a panic. My heart is still racing right now. So that was fun. And I just decided to stay awake. But it is Monday, it's the 22nd of March, which means it is the first day of the mini spookathon. And if you don't know what the mini spookathon is, it's being hosted by Rylan. I will link her channel down below for you guys. She hosted the Spooktober readathon last October and it was a lot of fun. I took part in the readathon for the entire month and I really enjoyed it. And she just wanted to do a mini Spooktober readathon at the end of March because she was missing spooky books, and I am missing spooky books too. I'm not gonna lie, they are my favourite books to read, and I haven't really read a lot of thrillers or horrors. I lost all sense of thought there. I haven't read a lot of thrillers or horrors recently, so I would really like to get back into them. So instead of like last time where you was put into a separate team and there was lots of point scoring, there was team thriller, team horror and team mystery, and we were all competing to win essentially. This week is just a bit more relaxed. It's a bit of fun and you can read as many genres as you want. You can read one, you can read all of them. It is totally up to you. I am going for a mix of thriller and horror this week, and there are 5 prompts for me to complete. So what are those prompts and what books will I be reading to complete them? I'm going to let future Jess tell you so that I can finish my breakfast, and I will be back with you shortly. Yes, so one of the first books that I have picked for this week's readathon is The Silence by Don DeLillo. This is for the prompt to read a spooky novella. This is a very short book. It's only about 100 pages, so I reckon I could get it finished in one sitting. This is all about a communications blackout and these 5 friends who are getting together to watch the sport when everything kind of goes black, goes dead, and it's up to them to try and figure out what's going on and learn how to survive in this new world that they've been thrown into. This one has given me major confinement vibes, and I feel like it's going to be quite tense. That's what they have said it is going to be. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. I've been quite excited for it for some time. The next book is Real World by Natsuo Kirino, and this is a Japanese horror. I'm reading this book for the prompt to read a book by a BIPOC author. I haven't read anything by this author before. I haven't read any Japanese horror before, and I know that from what I've seen and what I've heard about it, Japanese horror can be quite weird and very intense, and to be honest, I'm in the mood for that right now. This one follows 4 teenage girls who are in summer school, and one night one of the girls' next door neighbour ends up dead, and they're all at this girl's flat, and then I think they get trapped. They're trying to figure out like who killed their neighbour, and I don't really know anything else about it other than that, but I have looked at some of the reviews for this one, and some people have said that it is quite intense in places, so I'm very excited to see what this one's all about, and again, another short read. The last physical book that I have on this TBR is Horror Store, which is a novel by Grady Hendrix, and this book is all about some employees who work in a furniture shop, a bit similar to IKEA, and one night, they start to see some very strange goings on, and I believe it is a ghost story. That's what I'm really hoping for with this book. I'm reading this book for the prompt to read a book by a new to you author. I haven't read anything by Grady Hendrix yet. I do have the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires on my TBR as well. That one sounds like it's a really good book, but I'm very excited for this one, and this one was an impulse buy. I'd never heard of it before, but I saw it on Amazon, and the format of this book really intrigued me because it's laid out like a furniture shop catalogue, which I feel like is just going to make the entire reading experience much more enjoyable. So I'm really, really excited for this one. I know I keep saying that all the time, but it's true. And then lastly, we have The Newlyweds by Ariane Richmond. I am reading this for the prompt to read an ARC or a borrowed book. I have had the ARC for this book since November, so I really need to get to it. It did come out in January. I don't really know anyone who has read this book, so if you have, then let me know what you thought of it. But this one is all about a newly married couple, and from what I understand, it's kind of got a domestic abuse storyline going on underneath the surface. However, not everything is as it seems, and I believe that people are suspecting that one party in the couple is being abused, but that might not actually be the case. I haven't really looked into this one that much. I'm going into it quite blindly, but I'm really looking forward to this one. Again, I say it all the time, but I haven't read a lot of thrillers recently, and I really want to get back into thrillers. I miss them, so this one is just going to give me that thriller fix that I have really been looking for. Back to you, past Jess. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, so those are all of the books that I'm planning to read this week, and I'm very excited for all of them. They all sound really cool, and they're all relatively short books as well, so I reckon I could get all of them finished this week. That would be pretty awesome if I did. I don't really know which one of those books I'm going to start with first, but what I do know is that I also want to listen to an audiobook for another prompt. So I talked about 4 prompts there. There's another prompt which is to read a slow burn thriller, and I've been thinking a little bit about maybe doing that as an audiobook because I am doing a walking challenge this March. I'm doing the Walk All Over Cancer challenge, where I have to walk 10,000 steps every single day, and So I need to be going out for a walk right now, and I've been thinking that I would like to listen to an audiobook for a change. So I thought I could do the slow burn thriller prompt as an audiobook. I asked some people for some slow burn thriller recommendations, and I was recommended 8 Perfect Murders, which I think is by Peter Swanson, if I remember correctly, but that wasn't available on Audible. So I have another thriller called The Girl Before, which is by J.P. Delaney, I believe. I've had that one for quite a while. I don't really know if it is a slow burn thriller. I had a bit of a look, but I couldn't really get anything from what I read about it. But I might still go with that one anyway, because I have had it on Audible for quite some time, and it's not really a thriller that I'm rushing to get to, but it's there. So I think I'm gonna listen to that while I go out for a walk right now. I need to go now because I just want to get it out of the way, and also I am 14,000 steps behind target. I have to walk 310,000 steps this month, and I'm at like 206,000. The last 2 weeks have been a bit crazy, and I haven't been able to keep up with the challenge as much because I haven't been able to leave the house. So I am gonna stop talking and I'm gonna drag my arse outside for a long walk, and I'll bring you guys along with me. I don't really know where I'm gonna walk to yet. I've walked pretty much everywhere in my village now, and I'm kind of fed up with it, but there's not really much that I can do given the circumstances, so we're gonna go with it and see where we end up, and I will let you know my progress regarding the audiobook, and then later on we will sit down and start reading something with my eyes. Oh gosh, this vlog is gonna be a mess. I'm sorry. Hi everyone, I'm back home, and even though it's really sunny, I am freezing. So I'm looking forward to just being able to put my feet up now. I think I'm gonna have a nice hot bath just to kind of relax my muscles, because I walked a lot. I walked 5.5 miles, which is insane. It's the most I've walked in a few weeks, and I walked like 12,000 steps or something, so I've definitely pretty much caught up with where I need to be in terms of my monthly walking challenge. And yeah, I listened to the audiobook for The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney, and I got about a third of the way through, I would say, and it's definitely a slow burn thriller. And from what I took in of it, because I'm really bad at like retaining information when I listen to something, but from what I gathered, it's about this woman called Jane who moves into this flat, and she starts to learn about the girl who lived there previously called Emma, and we're kind of seeing their two perspectives. So we have Jane's chapters and Emma's chapters. This flat that they moved into, they have a whole lot of like restrictions. There were like 200 rules or something, and this flat was made by this really famous architect who sounds like a bit of a creep. The further on I go into this story, the more I am just like, ew, I don't like you. But yeah, they kind of both have individual experiences with this guy, but he kind of treats them the same, and Jane is starting to like piece together that something's not right with him and with the flat. And yeah, it sounds really interesting. I don't really know how I feel about it. It's one of those that I'm probably gonna have to sit down and read the physical book for, because I do struggle to take stuff in when listening to audiobooks, especially if I am doing something else. And when I walk, my mind tends to wander a lot. I like to think. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we get on with that. I am enjoying it as far as I know. So I'll probably continue with that tomorrow or at some point in the... Yeah, it was really nice to be outside this morning. It was very quiet. There wasn't that many people around, and I just went for a walk around the Great Central Railway, which is like a really old railway line. I think it's like a Victorian railway line. It's not really used much anymore, but they do still have the steam trains that travel from Leicester North, which is in my village, up to Loughborough, and then I think it goes a bit further up as well. And I have been on that steam train, and it is a pretty cool experience, and it's a shame that it's not like working at the moment, because obviously COVID has put a stop to that, but hopefully it'll be back up and running again soon, and we'll be able to see it like on the tracks. And then I also found this really cool cemetery which I didn't know existed, and so I had a little wander around there because I thought it was very fitting given that it is spooky week. And yeah, that was very peaceful. I really liked it there, but there were a lot of like graves that were kind of looked like they'd been broken into or broken out of, and that was a bit creepy, but it fits the theme of this video. So yeah, anyway, I am going to chill for the rest of the afternoon, and like I said, I'm gonna get in the bath, a nice hot bath, and just relax. And I think the book that I am going to start with is The Silence by Don DeLillo, just because it's a very short book. This is like it's not even 120 pages long, so this is a one sitting kind of book, and I've been looking forward to reading this for quite some time. It was on my radar towards the end of last year. It was one of my most anticipated books. I don't really know anyone who has read this, but I am really looking forward to it because it sounds really cool. It's set in New York, and it is Super Bowl Sunday in the year 2022. 5 people are due to have dinner in an apartment on the east side of Manhattan. The hosts are a retired physics professor and her husband. They are joined by one of her former students and await the arrival of another couple, delayed by what becomes a dramatic flight from Paris. In the apartment, talk ranges widely. The opening kickoff is one commercial away. Then something happens and the digital connections that have transformed our lives are severed. What follows is a dazzling and profoundly moving conversation about what makes us human. Never has the art of fiction been such an immediate guide to our navigation of a bewildering world. Kind of reminds me of Leave the World Behind by Ramana Lam, and I don't know if this is going to be a spooky novella because I'm reading this for the spooky novella prompt, but we'll find out. Either way, I'm excited and I hope I love it. Also, I want to give a quick mention to my friend Emma, and she's not sponsoring me for this, but I just wanted to show you guys this cute little package. She owns an Etsy shop called Couple Love Gifts, and she just sells hot drink gift sets. So in the boxes you'll get like coffees and teas and biscuits and things, and she's got an Easter version. I know by the time this video goes up it's probably not going to be Easter anymore, but I will leave her shop down in the description box below for you guys. If you want to check it out, please do. She has such great gifts and she really deserves all the attention because she's worked really hard on her shop, and I love her very much. So I am going to open this up and enjoy it while I have my bath and while I read The Silence, and we're going to have a lovely Monday afternoon. So I'm going to shut up now and I will update you all in a little bit. I'm back. Hi. Yeah, I have only read about 40 pages of The Silence and I don't know if I like it or not because it's very vague and it's written in a way that I am not generally a big fan of. It's definitely reminding me of Leave the World Behind in the way that it is written and the way the characters talk to each other, and I'm just not feeling it. But I'm gonna carry on with it because it's a relatively short book and I'm hoping that it will get interesting. I mean, the concept is interesting. I'm just not loving the writing at all right now. So, I mean, I should expect some disappointment because I did look on Goodreads and this book has a very low rating. It's like 2.3, 2.4 out of 5 stars. So the general consensus is that people don't like this book that much, but I want to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I do occasionally like books that other people rate very poorly. I mean, you know, we're all different, but I don't know. I've got to the point where everything happens with the technology, like they're sitting down to watch the Super Bowl and then the TV goes off and their phones stop working and everything, but just the way the characters are talking really fucking annoys me right now. And they name drop Einstein a lot, and if that's not relevant to the story, I'll be pissed off. So yeah, it's not looking positive right now, but I'm gonna keep going. Hopefully it will get better. But I am very tired and I feel like I might fall asleep soon. So there's that to contend with as well. Yeah, I'm gonna carry on reading now and hopefully I won't fall asleep, but I can't make any promises. Hi everyone, so it's Tuesday, it's the 23rd of March. Today marks a year since we went into a national lockdown the first time, and yeah, it's been a morning of reflection and just kind of thinking about how crazy the past year has been, how unreal it has felt, how different my life has been for the past year, and the fact that I have only worked for 4 months out of the 12 is bizarre. So yeah, it's been one of those mornings. I did get some reading done this morning. I've just finished some filming. I filmed a couple of videos that will probably be up by the time this vlog is out. So yeah, it's been quite a productive morning. But this morning I started reading Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, and I'm only on page 25, so I've only read the first chapter, and I don't really have any thoughts on it, but this is a book set in a furniture shop, a bit similar to IKEA, but this furniture shop is called Orsk. And we're introduced to a number of characters, one of them being Amy, and when she arrived at work in the morning, their ID cards and stuff like that weren't working, which was a bit unusual because that's never happened before. So it's kind of setting up the story in terms of mystery and strange goings on happening. But other than that, I couldn't really tell you what it's about, but I'm hoping it's going to be a ghost story. I really hope it's a ghost story because I'm craving a ghost story. Like, I've read zombies and vampires quite a lot. I haven't read a lot of ghost stories and things involving poltergeists and strange apparitions and stuff like that. So it would be really cool for that to be a thing in this. But I'm reading this for the prompt to read a book by a new to you author, and I have heard of Grady Hendrix and I have seen a couple of his books floating around. I do own one of his books on audio, but I haven't read anything by him yet, so I'm very interested to see where I stand on his writing. I know he writes a lot of stories centered around the supernatural and stuff like that, so this will be a good introduction into what he's all about. And yeah, I love this book because of the way it's laid out. It's laid out like a furniture shop catalogue, which is really cool. And it's got like instruction manuals in here and things like that, stuff like this. And at the start it has like a delivery order form, which is really cool. So I'm liking the book for that alone, but I'm hopefully gonna sit down and read some more of this in the afternoon. I just have a few more things that I need to get done. But I didn't update you last night on what happened with The Silence by Don DeLillo. I ended up falling asleep about 4 o'clock yesterday, and then I just didn't film my update on this, but I finished this yesterday, and I'm massively let down by this book, guys. This book is just not what it was marketed as. When I first read about this book, I assumed that it was going to be kind of like a claustrophobic kind of confinement book, you know, a story about confinement, and I thought it was going to be very tense and, you know, make you a bit paranoid, because the concept is all about, you know, a communications blackout, and how you would deal with that. But actually this book is just 115 pages of characters talking complete nonsense that I didn't understand it, and I am stupid. I'm a very literal reader. Things that I can understand, some things that are speculative, but there is a limit, and this book was just way too vague for me, and I was bored by this book, and it was very exhausting. That's why I fell asleep, because I felt like I would rather nap than read, which never never happens to me. But yeah, this book just, it really let me down, and I was really angry, and I hate it. I really hate it. And one of the things that really annoyed me about this book actually was because I know that this book was written about 3 or 4 weeks before COVID. So it was finished before the pandemic became like a thing and became as bad as it was. And you could tell that the writer had like gone back afterwards and added COVID references. So there were references to face masks, to viruses, to lockdowns and stuff like that, and I was just like, there was no need to do that. Like, you've tried to be relevant, you've tried to keep it relevant, and instead it was just annoying. And this book would have been very relevant without that. I think it would resonate with people because of the situation that we have found ourselves in the past year. And it's very reminiscent of that anyway. It didn't need those references, but the fact that he did that just really annoyed me. And in the end, I just gave this book 1 star because it wasn't worthy of anything else. The only thing that I really liked about this book was the font. Look at that font, the typewriter font. I love it. That was the only thing about this book that I really liked. I feel like if it would have been longer, because it is only 115 pages, it's very short. If it had been a longer book, I probably would have DNF'd it at 100 pages, because nothing happened. Like, there was no plot, no story. It was just, like, yeah. I do not recommend, and I don't know what that noise is outside. Okay, so bear with me one moment, guys, because that is my Wix delivery. So just give me one moment. Alright guys, that was my integrated bin that we were supposed to have last week, but it didn't show up with the order. We had a lot of things actually that didn't show up with the order, so the kitchen took a little bit longer than it should have done to be finished, but anyway, that's that. I'm really out of breath now. Give me 1 minute. Alright, so what was I saying about this book? Yeah, don't read it. It's a waste of time, pretty much. I will be unhauling this. I am very sad because it was a gift for Christmas, but it's just not worth it. So I won't be giving this to anyone because no one will like it. I don't think I know anyone who will like it. So there we go. The first book of the mini Spooktober readathon was a massive letdown, but it can't get any worse than that, right? Hopefully not. So anyway, my plan for today is, as I said, I have a few things that I need to sort out, some washing, just other household bits, and then I will sit down and read some more of Horror Store. I said that really weird, Horror Store. And yeah, that's all I really have planned for the afternoon, and then it's a bit of meal prep for tonight, and then I don't know what's going to happen tonight. So we'll see how it goes. But I will love you and leave you for now, guys, and I will talk to you all in a little while. Alright, so I am 50 pages into Horror Store now, and I've got a little bit more context of the story. So as I mentioned earlier, we're following Amy, who works at Orsk, and she gets asked by her manager Basil to accompany him to hang out at the store one night with another colleague, Ruthann, because there has been some vandalism going on in the store for the past few weeks, always at night time, and like employees have been turning up for their shifts the next day and finding furniture like broken or smeared with like disgusting substances and stuff like that. So Basil asks the two of them to join him to hang out in the store at night to kind of find out what's going on, because they think that someone's like breaking in to the store and destroying stuff. So that's pretty much where I'm at in the story. I'm just at a part now where they have gone to the store for the night, and it's just the three of them in this pig warehouse type shop, and there are some strange things happening, and I'm very excited to see where the story goes. Really hope it is ghosts. If it's not ghosts, I'll be really angry. If it's anything supernatural or creepy, I'll be happy, but I really want it to be ghosts. I love ghosts. So I'm going to carry on reading this now. It's about 2:30. I did sit down to read a lot later than I planned, just because I keep getting distracted by stuff. But I've got another hour or so before I need to start doing things for later. So I'm going to see if I can get to at least page 100, maybe 150 before I need to put it down. And yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I don't really know how I feel about it right now. I am anticipating lots of good stuff, so this book does have quite a positive start, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I'll see you in a little bit, I guess. I never actually said earlier, but there was one part at the start of this book that made me laugh a little bit, because they talked about how at Orsk, the furniture that they make isn't compatible with like normal household tools. So to put the furniture together, you have to like buy the Orsk tools as well. And they have like their own little Orsk L-shaped spanner that like lets you put the furniture together or break it apart or whatever. And I just thought that was so funny, and it's definitely a bit of commentary on like capitalism and the way certain brands design their stuff, specifically so that you kind of like have to buy extra parts to make things work, and it's a bit of a money-making scheme. And I'm pointing the finger here at a certain brand that I'm not going to name, but their logo is a fruit. They are bastards for it. They do it all the time. So I found that quite funny. I was like, yeah, brands do that a lot just to make more money, and it's kind of like conning people out of stuff they don't really need, or they make you think you need it or whatever. But yeah, I liked that, and I can definitely tell there's a lot of like satirical elements in this book already, and it's quite funny. All right, guys, so I've got to page 80, something like that. But I just keep getting distracted right now. My mind is just wandering, and I'm thinking about other stuff, and it's making it very difficult for me to get invested in the story and just concentrate. So I'm going to put the book down for now, and I'm just going to start prepping dinner a bit early, and then hopefully once I've done that, I can focus on this again. I don't know what's wrong with me today, but my mind is just not in reading mode, and it's really annoying because I want to read so badly, but my brain is just thinking about everything else. So yeah, I'm gonna take a break, and I'm gonna go and do some cooking, and yeah, we'll see what happens after that. I am definitely planning to sit down and read some more of this tonight. I think it'd be quite cool actually to read it in the dark, considering it's a ghost story. I think that'd be quite a fun thing to do. I don't know how scary it's gonna be. I'm not really assuming now that it's going to be as scary as I hoped it would, just because I've got a bit more of a feel for it. But I might be pleasantly surprised. I don't know. So yeah, let's make some dinner. I might show you guys actually what I'm making. And then I'll get some more reading done later. Good morning everyone, so it is now day 3 of the mini Spooktober readathon. Well, I say good morning, it should be like good afternoon because it's almost lunchtime, but I got up quite late today. I got up at like 10:30, which I haven't done in a very long time. I was just really tired last night and I still feel like crap now. My head is pounding something wicked, so I love that for me. But I had a very chilled night last night. I had an amazing dinner of honey mustard gammon with some vegetables and really nice roast potatoes, and then I sat down by candlelight in kind of the dark. I had a little light on, and I read some more of Horrorstore. I actually read this while I was listening to some storm sounds, just some like background noise of like rain and thunderstorms, which was really cool actually. It helped me focus on this book because yeah, I was just struggling to focus a lot yesterday, and with my boyfriend being at home in the evening, I can hear him like on his computer doing work or playing his games or whatever, so it was nice to have that background noise. And I got to I think I got up to like page 140, 141, something like that. And yeah, the story's picked up in this massively, but it's still just kind of okay. Like, it's not blowing me away, it's not making me feel scared or anything, which is what I wanted. It's just okay, but I'm still invested enough to keep going. And I am interested to see what other spooky things happen. But I think Grady Hendrix is more about kind of like the comedy and the satire than he is about making everyone terrified beyond belief. I might be wrong. But yeah, so my plan for today is to finish Horrorstore. I only have about 100 pages left to go. I do have a video that I need to edit as well because it needs to be up tomorrow. And I don't want to do it, to be honest. It's gonna take me a while because it's quite a long video. But I know that once I've done it, I will feel better about it. So I'll probably get that out of the way pretty early on, and then I'll sit down and read this. But yeah, I'm not feeling 100% today. I don't really know what's wrong with me other than my head's hurting, but I'm just like not in a good place today. I don't really know. So I'm going to try and take it easy. I do still need to do my 10,000 steps challenge, but I don't think that's going to happen today, and I'm not going to worry about it if it doesn't. Like, it is what it is. But I think just the excuse me, the stress of the last 2 weeks is finally catching up with me, and it's my body just telling me that I need to chill out. So that's what I'm going to do today. I've had a bath, so that helped a bit. I've had my cup of tea, so I'm a bit more awake. And yeah, we're going to get the video done, and then we're going to get to reading this, and then I might think about starting my next book today, or I might carry on with listening to some of the audiobook for The Girl Before. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I can't promise that I'm going to vlog many updates today. I kind of just want to chill out and read and not think about filming so much. But we'll see how it goes. So I will love you and leave you for now, and I will see you when I see you. Guys, I've just noticed something in this book that I haven't noticed before, and I've flipped through this book a lot, and I've looked at the pictures a lot before I've read this story, and I've just noticed a slight, like a really clever change. And so every chapter starts with a page like this, and it's named after like the piece of furniture, and then it has a picture of said furniture, so pretty much every chapter is like that. So that's where I started from today, and as I've been going through, like I've only read 2 more chapters since, but as I've been going through, I started to notice that the furniture looks like this, and I looked at it at first and I was like, okay, they sell these things and they kind of advertise it as like a meditative, I can't say that word, chair, and then I got up to here and it looks like a treadmill, but it's got spikes on it, and I've just been looking through, and all of the contraptions and that just get more and more sinister. Where's the other one? There's another one. Yes, so they start getting more and more sinister, and that is related to the story, and obviously, like, I'm not going to tell you why because I would spoil it. But oh my gosh, I just think it's really clever. I love it. And I can't believe I didn't notice it before, because like I said, I've flipped through this book a lot before reading it, and I've looked at a lot of the pictures a lot previously. But I think because obviously I know the context of the story now, it's become more obvious and more noticeable. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I really, really like it. I thought it was super unique, super clever. And even though the story is kind of okay right now, the format of this book is definitely making the reading experience so much more enjoyable. So I'm really glad that I have picked this one up. Ha ha ha. So the best part of my Wednesday has just arrived, and I'm very excited because we haven't had one of these boxes for the past 2 weeks because we haven't had an oven to cook with. We've just been having takeaways, but I'm so excited. Gusto, I've missed you. So it's basically just like it's just like a weekly meal prep box, and you go online and you just like choose which box you want. So we've got like the box for 2 people, 4 recipes for the week, and then you just get to pick like the recipes that you want, and then they just send you the ingredients, and this is only the 3rd box we've had. So the first 2 boxes we had were actually really good. So yeah, I'm so happy to finally have it all again. And it's just like great if you want to eat better, you want to eat cleaner and more fresh food, because stuff in the supermarkets here in the UK can be quite expensive, and it's like for 2 people for 4 recipes it's like £40, which is generally what we spend on a normal food shop anyway. Well, we spend more than that, and then we'll just get other bits from the shop during the week. But yeah, I'm not sponsored. I'm just very excited, and I wanted to show you guys because this is literally like a lifesaver at the moment, and it's really helped us like save money and just eat better. That's their bag of ice, and I'm just really excited. Alright, so now that all of my deliveries are here, I think I might head outside because it's actually really nice today. It's really warm and really sunny, and I'm a natural vampire. Like, I don't like to be in the sun for too long, but I'm feeling it today, and I'm feeling a lot better than I did earlier, which is good. And I'm not really feeling reading right now. I kind of just want to be active, moving about. My legs are a little bit restless, so I think I'm gonna put the book down for a while and go back to it a little bit later, and I'm just gonna head outside for a walk and get my 10,000 steps in. I need some sunshine. It will be good for me. I think it will really help me just feel a bit more motivated and feel a little bit more energized, but it is coming up to like 4 o'clock, so I don't want to be too energized, otherwise I won't sleep tonight. But yeah, so I think that's the plan. I don't know if I will update you anymore today. I've kind of just been keeping my phone out of reach for a little bit and just trying not to be too focused on filming because I do want to get reading done. I did put on my Twitter yesterday that the problems that I have with vlogging is that I either forget to update because I'm just so engrossed in the book I'm reading or the things I'm doing, or I just don't read because I'm just too distracted by filming and my phone. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the right balance is for that. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go outside. I am gonna take a massive bottle of water with me and just put my headphones in. I might listen to an audiobook, I might listen to The Girl Before, I don't know yet. We'll see how I feel, but I just feel like I need to be outside right now. Hi guys, welcome to Thursday? Is it Thursday? I think it's Thursday. I don't actually know. I don't know anymore. The struggle is real this morning. I have just been laying in bed doing nothing, just procrastinating about getting up. So I'm really tired. I didn't have the best night's sleep last night, for the second night in a row. So yeah, today is gonna be a day. I just know it. All I want to do is just stay in bed all day and do nothing, which actually sounds quite appealing because I haven't done that in a very long time. But I know I would feel guilty about doing that, so yeah. It's quite sunny outside, so I might take myself out for a little walk just to kind of wake myself up, but I need to actually motivate myself to get up first. So I'm not gonna talk to you like this. I need to talk to you guys about how my reading went yesterday, but I'm gonna get myself a bit more awake first. And yeah. So I need to update you on my reading from yesterday. I finished Horror Store, and it was okay. It wasn't as scary or as tense as I was hoping it was going to be going into it. It really did set itself up to be quite an intense ghost story. But in the end, it just kind of fell a little bit flat for me, personally. But if you want a very interesting take on a haunted house story, and if you want something that's a little bit weird but also very ghost light, then this book would probably be quite good for you. There are some moments in it that are quite bizarre and can be quite gory, but overall it's not heavy on the scary stuff at all. It was a lot of fun. I did enjoy it for what it was. I loved all of the characters and I loved the interactions that they had with each other. And I did like the whole idea behind this haunted furniture shop and why it was haunted and the reason why these things were happening in there. I liked all of that. I just don't think it was executed very well. I don't know, like maybe it wasn't intended to be super scary, probably not. And I know that this book does have a lot of satirical elements in it and a bit of social commentary about like the working society of the Western world and stuff like that. So I totally understand that it's probably not meant to be absolutely terrifying, and it's just me. That's what I expect with every single book like this, but I still really liked it, and I ended up giving it 3 stars in the end. So yeah, I would definitely still check this out. Like I said, if you want something that's very light on the horror and very light on the ghostly goings on and just something that's a bit of fun. And also it's very different because I love the format. I love how this book is presented. It definitely adds to the experience and it just makes it so much more enjoyable. So I am very glad that I still read this. So that is 2 books down for this readathon. I'm doing pretty well considering it is only Thursday. This afternoon I am planning to sit down and start Real World by Natsuo Kirino. So this author is a Japanese author and she has written quite a few horror books, and I stumbled across this when I was looking for books set in Japan and written by Japanese authors for my Around the World reading challenge that I'm doing this year. And this author kept coming up quite a lot in a lot of the things I was looking at. And a lot of her books really interest me, and this one is set in the suburbs of Tokyo. And we're following 4 teenage girls who are going through summer school. And one of the girls' next door neighbour is found brutally murdered, and the girls suspect it is the neighbour's son Worm, and he is a bit of a high school misfit as well. But when he disappears, the 4 girls become irresistibly drawn into a treacherous vortex of brutality and seduction which rises from within themselves as well as the world around them. So I haven't read too much about this book because I want to go into it quite blindly, but I feel like this is going to be pretty gruesome. I mean, it mentions brutality, so I guess it's going to be pretty high on the brutality scale. I don't know. I'm going into it blindly, like I said, but I'm very intrigued by this one. I have heard a lot about Japanese horror and that Japanese horror can be quite insane. And I am very new to the horror genre. I only really started getting into it a bit more last year, and I think, well, I don't really know what my limit is on horror in books, but when I read The Troop by Nick Cutter last year, that was pretty close to the bone for me in terms of content, and it definitely made me feel quite grossed out and terrified for my life. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what my threshold limit whatever is on horror. So I don't know how this is going to go. I am hoping that it is going to terrify me. I'm hoping that it is going to be insane. That's what I'm looking for. But I don't want it to be too insane that I can't get through it. So we'll see, but I'm very excited to start this. It's such a cute little book as well. It's really floppy and it's really tiny and I love it. And again, it's another short read. It's about 200 and something pages. It's 208 pages. So I reckon this could be a really quick read for me as well. I've got like 2.5 hours before I need to like start doing stuff now, so that's plenty of time to get the bulk of this completed, and I will update you guys on my progress with this book. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea. It is pretty late in the day. It's like 1:30 and I've not been doing any reading or anything yet, but I managed to motivate myself out of bed by going to Tesco and getting some snacks because I am in a bit of a munchy mood today. So I've got some snacks, I'm going to make a cup of tea and I'm going to start this. And we're going to see what this is all about. Wish me luck. Alright guys, so I have been reading for a little while now and I'm just about to hit page 50, and I'm really liking the story. The writing is a little bit flat at times, I will admit, and it is quite slow paced at the moment, but I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen, where the story is going to go. And essentially at the start of the book we are introduced to Toshi, who is a teenage girl. She's going through school, and she's got these 3 friends who she absolutely adores. One morning as she's getting ready for her day, there's like a commotion going on in the flat next door to her, and then it turns out that the woman in that flat has been murdered, and she was murdered by her son Worm, and Worm has stolen Toshi's bike and her phone, and that's kind of the setup for the story. And in the second chapter we are following one of Toshi's friends called Yuzan, who has kind of been a bit of an accomplice to Worm in some capacity. And that's pretty much where I am up to now. I won't give you any more like plot details because I don't want to spoil it for you, but that's essentially what is going on. And yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a very interesting little story. I did a little bit of Googling on Natsuo Kirino a few minutes ago, and she does a lot of feminist noir, which I wasn't aware of, so that sounds cool. It's not really a genre that I've read a lot of, but I'm very keen to have a look into that. Yes, so this book has a lot of promising potential. The chapters are very long. I'm on page 49 and I'm still only on chapter 2. The first chapter was like 40 pages. So that's a bit of an issue because I'm not a huge fan of long chapters, but if the story is engrossing enough, then I don't think it will be too much of an issue. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, it's about 3:30 now. So I'm going to continue reading this and see how much I can get done before 5 o'clock. If I can get to about page 100, then I'll be quite happy. But yeah, I'm just really curious to see where this book is gonna go. Hi guys, it is day 5 of the readathon. I can't believe it's Friday. This week has gone so quick, it's crazy. And I've been doing a lot of reading this week, which has been great. I was going to go for a walk this morning, but it was absolutely hammering it down with rain. So I decided against that. I still need to get my 10,000 steps in for today, so I will probably go out later. I will try and get out a bit later. But that gave me the perfect excuse to get in the bath, hence why my hair looks like a wet dog. And I did a little bit of reading. I read a little bit more of Real World, and I am now on page 111. So I haven't read too much since I last updated you yesterday, but I'm not really sure if this book is horror. I mean, it was in the horror section on Goodreads, but so far there hasn't been any kind of horror elements in this book, so I'm not really sure why it was in the horror section. Maybe it is horror, maybe it is coming, I don't know. Maybe it's because the author does write horror stuff, but it's been very horror light at the moment, and I only have less than 100 pages to go on this, so I don't know. But having said that, I am still really enjoying this book, and I am finding all of the characters so interesting. They all have a lot going on underneath the surface that I am really enjoying finding out about. So I can't be too mad at the fact that this book is not what I thought it was going to be, because I am still very engrossed, and it is definitely a page turner. So we're following the perspectives of these 4 girls, so every chapter is written from one of the girls' points of view, and we've also got chapters written from the point of view of Worm, who is the teenage guy who killed his mother, and he is one crazy person. Like, he is terrifyingly insane, and I am really liking reading about his thoughts and the things that he's done in the past and the things that he wants to do. He's very unhinged, and it definitely makes this book quite tense. So yeah, I'm enjoying it for what it is. I wouldn't say it's more than a 3-star at the moment, but it depends what happens within the next 90 or so pages. But yeah, it's still quite a good book. And I am planning to get some more of this read today. I'm actually planning to finish this today, because then I can dedicate the entire weekend to getting my last book for this readathon finished, which is The Newlyweds. I'm reading that for the read a borrowed book or read an ARC prompt. I have an arc of it, and I've had it since November. The book came out in January, so I'm really behind. I really need to get on that. So that's my plan for the weekend. But right now, I need to dedicate some time to editing because I have a few videos that I need to edit. I have one that I really need to prioritise today. The others I might leave till Monday because they're not due until next week. But I have one that I need to prioritise because it is due to go up on Sunday. So I need to do that. It shouldn't take me too long. It depends how much I talk in the video and how many times I fuck up. But whatever, we'll get to that when it comes to it. So I need to do that today. Then I also need to finish The One. I've been watching The One on Netflix, which is a series based off John Mars's book The One, which I finished reading last week. And the show's really good, but it is very different from the series. So yeah, I need to finish that. I've got 2 more episodes left, so I'll probably finish that when I'm having lunch, and then I'm going to try and get out for a walk. I did also listen to some more of The Girl Before. I almost forgot the name of it there. I did listen to some of that last night because I just couldn't, I was too tired to physically pick up a book. So I ended up listening to a bit more of that. So I listened to about an hour's worth, so I'm about just over halfway through with that now. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna get everything done that I need to get done. I don't know if you'll see a lot of reading from me today. I tend not to vlog in the evenings too much just because, one, I'm really awkward and I don't quite have the confidence to do this stuff while my boyfriend's at home. I know that's really weird, and he knows that I do this and he's very supportive of me and he's seen some of my videos, but I don't have the confidence to kind of like pick up the camera and be like, oh hey guys, let me just update you on what I've been doing. I'm not quite at that stage yet. So that's one reason, and another reason is because I kind of consider this like, I don't really consider it work too much, but I kind of just like to have a limit on when I stop doing this stuff in the day, and then I can just focus on other things and just spend time with my boyfriend without phones and books and stuff. So yeah, I don't know what today is gonna look like. I might do a bit of filming while I'm out walking. I know I've been doing that a little bit in this vlog already, but I have been thinking about doing some videos where I kind of just like show you guys some of the walking routes that I take, because I do walk quite a lot. I like walking and I like exploring. I know some people on Twitter have said they would be interested in that quite a while ago. So I might include some of that in this vlog. I might just take you with me and just point some things out. I don't know, I'm not very confident talking to a camera in public, but I kind of just want to try it. So we'll see, I might do that. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna shut up now and I'm gonna get shit done. So I'll see you when I see you. Hi guys, so I'm just on my afternoon walk trying to get my 10,000 steps in. And as soon as I left the house it started raining, and I've just looked at the weather forecast and it's predicting hailstorms right about now, so that's good. I'm looking up the confidence to film outside because why not, but also there's no one around actually, it's very quiet. I'm walking past the COVID test centre, which is like 5 minutes from my house, and yeah, there's no one around, so that's nice. It's very cold. I'm probably not going to film too much because I don't want my phone to get absolutely soaked. I mean, it is waterproof, but yeah, I've just got to be a bit careful regardless. I've got my audiobook in, but my headphones have just alerted me that it doesn't have a lot of battery, so I obviously forgot to charge them last night. So I don't know how much of my audiobook I'm going to get done while I'm out on this walk. So yeah, but anyway, I'm just going to try and enjoy it. I'm going to embrace the elements and see where we end up. I was going to walk through the meadows, One Lip Meadows, which is about 10 minutes that way, but because of the weather it's probably very muddy. Sorry, I just got interrupted by the weather. What was I saying? Yeah, I was going to go through the meadows, but because of the rain it's probably going to be very muddy, so I think I'm going to avoid those and I'm going to go down a different route and get to Watermead a different way. So Watermead is like a country park near where I live. It's got lots of lakes and things like that, and I might show you around there. But the skies are opening up a little bit now. It's a little bit more blue skied and the sun's out, so let's oh gosh, those clouds do not look very friendly. The problem with living in the United Kingdom and the weather here is that the weather is just really changeable, and it can be really cold and cloudy and wet one minute, and then it can be really sunny and hot the next, and it's very hard to kind of match your wardrobe to the weather. So I put this coat on because obviously it was raining when I left the house, and now it's really hot, so that's fun. But anyway, I changed my mind in the end and decided that I was going to go through One Lip Meadows, and I don't know if you can hear the squelchiness of the mud, but this was a mistake. I should have trusted my instinct the first time and not gone this way, but oh well, we're here now, might as well enjoy it. So One Lip Meadows is a nature reserve, and there's not really much here, it's just fields, but it's here just to kind of, give a home to all of the wildlife around the area, and to be honest, I never actually see that many people walk through here, not even in the summer when the weather's really good. You never tend to see anybody, mostly dog walkers, but there's no one here right now. It's really nice, but then this takes you through to Watermead, which is a country park, I think I said that, and it's one of my favourite places to walk. It's literally like a 20-25 minute walk from my house, and it's really nice in the summer, and it has really cool hidden gems. So I think I'm going to show you King Lear's Lake and just take a walk around there. It's massive, so I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I don't think I'm going to walk the whole thing. I still don't think, even after living here for almost 4 years and coming here quite a lot, I still don't think I've seen all of Watermead. But Watermead as well, it's got the River Soar running through it, and that river goes all the way through Leicester, so you can walk from here all the way to the city centre and then further out past my university, and up to a place called Ayleston Meadows, which is also very nice. And yeah, it just keeps going. If you're a Leicester City fan, it would take you past King Power Stadium. And yeah, so we're not going to do that today. I think I'm just going to show you King Lear's Lake. I might, if I have time, show you the woolly mammoth, and I might try and find the polar bear. I've only ever found it once, but there is a polar bear hidden around the woodlands. But I don't know, we'll see where the afternoon takes us, but it is gone 3 o'clock, so I do need to be getting home soon because I have shit to do. Yeah, so just over there is King Lear's Lake, and I'll just zoom in a little bit more and you can see this when I get it in focus. I'll take you a bit closer, but that statue there is a statue in the lake, and it depicts a scene from Shakespeare's King Lear, and I just think that that is really cool. Like I said, it's got lots of hidden gems around here, which just makes it all the more fun to go exploring. Okay guys, I need to be heading home now because it's almost 4 o'clock and I'm not liking the look of the clouds that are very quickly approaching. I don't want to get rained on, I don't want to get hailed on, so I'm gonna head home and then I'm gonna head out and meet my boyfriend outside his work and get the rest of my 10k steps in. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed having a little look around some of the places where I walk. It's a bit different and it's something that I might continue to do, maybe not in reading vlogs, but maybe in like separate videos. So if that's something that you're interested in, then let me know in the comments if you've got this far. So yeah, I don't know if I will be doing any more vlogging today. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any reading tonight. I'm not really feeling like reading today. Obviously I read that little bit this morning and then I've been listening to my audiobook, and I'm actually amazed that my earplugs haven't died on me yet. But I don't know if I feel like physically reading, so we'll see how that goes. But if I do, then I'll probably do it in the dark by candlelight, because that's usually how you read spooky books. And hopefully I can get Real World finished tonight. I don't have a lot of it left to go, so we'll see how we get on with that. And yeah, if I don't see you later, I will try and see you tomorrow. I can't make any promises. I'm trying to be better with my vlogging. So yeah, I'm gonna gosh, it's so muddy. I wish I'd never come this way. Why do I do this to myself? Seriously. Look at the state of my fucking leggings. Gosh. Clean on 2 hours ago as well. Should have kept my shorts on. I scratched my nose last night, so please just ignore that. But hi, it's day 6 of the readathon, so it's the weekend, and I've literally just finished reading Real World by Natsuo Kirino. I tried to finish it last night, but I was drinking some wine and I ended up with quite a big headache, so I put the book down at like page 162. And I've just finished it this morning, and I actually really liked it. I will come out and say this now, that this is not horror at all. There was no kind of like horror elements in it as such, like there wasn't anything gory or gruesome or scary, but it was a pretty tense book, and I did really find myself getting very invested in the story and the characters. I thought all of the characters were really interesting. I did look at some reviews of this a couple of minutes ago, and some people have said like they can't really understand why the characters did what they did, and it seemed really unbelievable. But I actually feel very different. I actually kind of understand why the characters did what they did, and I did find it very believable. That's just my personal opinion, but I've given this book 4 stars because even though it wasn't what I thought it was going to be and it wasn't horror, I was just really invested in everything that was going on, and I really liked the writing as well. I thought it flowed really well. Like I said before, it was quite hard to get into at first because the writing was a little bit flat at the beginning, but it definitely picked up and got a lot better as the book progressed, and it's definitely one of the best pieces of translated fiction that I have read, and it's my first kind of foray into Japanese fiction and translated Japanese fiction, and I really enjoyed it. So I won't recommend this if you are looking for a horror book. I do know this author does write horror, so I'm gonna go and check out some of her other stuff and see what that's like. But if you do want a good kind of like, I wouldn't say it's a murder mystery, but it does have elements of a murder mystery in it. But if you want a really good character-driven story about murder and people's motives and things like that, then I would really recommend this. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm very surprised. Even though it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, I still ended up feeling like I'd had a great time at the end of it, so I can't be too mad about that. So it's coming up to the afternoon now, and I'm not really feeling like doing a lot today. I still need to get my 10,000 steps in, so I'll probably have to drag myself out a little bit later, otherwise I'm going to have to do a lot of catching up for the last 4 days of this challenge. But I am experiencing really painful period cramps right now, so I just want to curl up into a ball and not do anything. So my plan is to start my next book for the readathon, which is The Newlyweds by Ariane Richmond. This is an ARC, and I'm reading it for the prompt to read a borrowed book or an ARC, and I've looked into this one a little bit earlier, and it's got kind of mixed reviews, which is to be expected. So I don't know if I'm going to end up liking it or not, but it's a thriller. It's a domestic thriller. I quite like domestic thrillers, so I feel like I will enjoy it. I have been looking forward to it, and I've had this arc for ages, so I need to get to it. So that's my plan. I'm going to just lay on the sofa and read the book on my phone, and get as much of it done as possible, because there's only 2 days left of this readathon. If I could finish 4 books, then I'll be pretty happy. I am almost done with the audiobook for The Girl Before. My headphones didn't die on me yesterday when I was out walking, which I was pretty surprised by. I was out for like 2 hours and they lasted the whole duration of that walk. So I only have about an hour and 5 minutes left of the audiobook. So I will have 4 books finished this week, which I'm really astounded by because I never read like 4 books in 1 week, but they have all been like pretty short, so it's still 4 books. So yeah, so I'll probably finish that off tonight. And yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do with the arc, but we're gonna make a start. I don't know if I'll update again today, maybe not, but if I don't, then I will probably see you all at the end of the week to give you my final roundup. Hi everybody, so it is now the week after, so the mini Spooktober readathon is officially over. I didn't vlog on Sunday because Sunday was a pretty bad day, and it's taken me a few days to kind of get back to normality a little bit and try and just get my head in a good place. But yeah, I'm here and I'm ready to just update you guys on how I did. And I did pretty well. I finished 3 books. I almost finished an audiobook, and I did start reading the arc for the Newlyweds, which I mentioned in my last update, but I ended up DNFing that just because I wasn't really feeling it, and also I wasn't really enjoying the characters and I wasn't enjoying the interactions with each other, and I just didn't think it was written that well, so I ended up DNFing that at about the 30% mark, but a lot of that had to do with the fact that Sunday was just awful and I wasn't in the right frame of mind to focus on what I was reading, so I ended up just reading some comfort reads. I started reading Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo again, and I was really enjoying it. So my Sunday just didn't go to plan. That is what happened, but overall I still did pretty well. So at the beginning of the week I read The Silence by Don DeLillo. This was for the prompt to read a spooky novella, and it wasn't spooky at all. I wouldn't even really say it's a novella, like there's no actual story. The concept was cool, but overall there was like no plot and it was just a lot of characters talking about stuff that I didn't understand. I am a very dumb reader, like I have to kind of, you know, be told things exactly how they happen for me to kind of understand the story, and this was just too clever for me, and I don't know, like I just didn't enjoy it, and it ended up being my first 1-star review of 2021, which is an achievement because I am now like 24 books in to my reading challenge, and yeah, it's taken like 24 books, probably 22 at that point, to get a 1-star review, so it's pretty impressive. It is a shame that this one didn't live up to the expectations that I had for it, but that's just how it happens sometimes. So I wouldn't recommend this unless you do enjoy literary fiction and literary thrillers, then you might enjoy this, but I really didn't. And another thing that really annoys me, which I've been a bit vocal about lately as well, is that I hate the fact that they advertise literary fiction, literary thrillers as just thrillers, and I feel like I always get catfished when this happened. It happened with Leave the World Behind. And to be honest, it does say it is a literary thriller on like the inside of the dust jacket. But when they were like advertising it online, there was no mention that it was a literary thriller. And it was the same with this one. Like, I didn't get the impression that it was going to be literary fiction. And so I feel like they just need to stop doing that, because it is setting me up for loads of disappointment anyway. I don't know about anyone else, but that's just how I feel. So there was that one. And then the second book that I finished was Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, and I read this for the prompt to read a book by a new to you author. I have heard of Grady Hendrix, and I do have the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires on audiobook, which I've been meaning to get to for quite a long time, and I haven't yet. But this one was a lot of fun. It wasn't what I was hoping it would be. It didn't quite have that tension and the kind of paranoia vibes I was hoping it would have, but it was still a great story, and it is a very different take on the haunted house trope, and it's kind of like a haunted furniture store. And I loved reading about the characters as they were trying to find out what is going on in their furniture shop, and the stuff that happened, it was quite brutal at times. Like, there is a little bit of gore in here. I wouldn't say it's like really, really graphic. I have read some graphic, gory stuff, and this isn't that, but I will just let you know that if you don't like gory things, there are a few scenes in here that are a bit like that, so you might want to give this a miss. But it's just a lot of fun. It's very ghost light as well, so if you do want to get into the horror genre, if you do want to get into ghost stories but you're a bit of a chicken like me, then this would be a good starting point, because it's not very heavy on the scariness. It's more just about the story and the characters just finding out what's happening, and it's just fun. It is a lot of fun, so I really enjoyed this one, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. And then the last book that I finished was Real World by Natsuo Carino, and I read this for the prompt to read a book by a BIPOC author. I really enjoyed this. I am not gonna lie, I was very disappointed that this book wasn't horror, because that's what it was advertised as when I was looking for like Japanese horror books. This one was on the list along with a few of the author's other works, so I think it was just on that list because this author does write horror stuff as well. But I'm not too annoyed, because I really enjoyed the story. I found the story really compelling. I was just sucked straight in, and I found all of the characters really interesting. I loved seeing their different points of views, and I loved, delving into their past a little bit and finding out why they are the way they are. The murderer in this book, Worm, he is really creepy. He is totally insane, and I loved every second of reading his chapters. And it was just the right amount of fucked up, if you know what I mean. There are some moments in this book where it does get quite tense, and it does deal with a lot of very triggering subjects. So again, please make sure that if you do want to read this book, you can go on Storygraph and check out all of the content warnings on there, because it does deal with a lot of things like grief and suicide, murder, abuse. There's a lot of sexual content in it as well, so just be cautious going into this. But I absolutely loved it. It was probably one of the best translated pieces of fiction that I have read in a while. I don't read a lot, but a lot of them I have struggled with, but this one was really easy to read. It was a bit difficult to get into at the start. The writing did feel kind of flat and dry at the beginning, but it soon found the flow, and it just works really well. Very long chapters, but Once you kind of get hooked on the story, you don't really notice how long the chapters are. I just really enjoyed this, and I would have liked more horror in it. There were a few elements of it, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but I still gave it 4 stars. A really solid book by Natsuo Kirino, and I would really recommend it to everyone if you're looking for a murder mystery that's a little bit different. Alright, so those are all the books that I finished. Like I said, I DNF'd The Newlyweds. I might go back and try it again at some point in the future, but I just wasn't gelling with it very well. And then obviously I listened to the audiobook for The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney, and I still have about an hour of it left to listen to. I just didn't get round to it Saturday night or Sunday. So I will finish it this month. But yeah, I don't really know how I feel about it, because audiobooks are very hit and miss for me, and I tend to listen to audiobooks a lot when I am doing other things, and I feel like I should stop doing that because I don't always take in the story. So I kind of understand this book a little bit. I have taken in some of the things, but I think I need to kind of like just sit down and listen to it all without doing anything, or just physically read the book for me to kind of make up my mind on it. But I would say that it's probably like a 3-star read. Again, it's got a lot of triggering kind of content in it, so if you are interested in reading it, then go and check out all the content warnings on Storygraph. So yeah, that is the end of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I know it's been a bit all over the place because I've just been trying some different things out in terms of editing and the stuff that I talk about and stuff that I show you in my vlogs. So please feel free to just let me know in the comments down below if there was anything that you did like that you want me to carry on doing, or if there's stuff that you didn't like that you don't want me to do. That's fine as well, because I do want to be making content that I want to make. But I know that you guys watch it, and I want to please you as well, and I want it to be something that you're interested in. So yeah, just let me know if you've got any ideas or what your thoughts are, and I will happily take that feedback on board. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I know it's been a long one, but I really appreciate it if you have stuck with me. If you've read any of the books mentioned in this video, then please feel free to let me know and what you thought of them, or if you are planning to read any of them or not read any of them now that you've heard my thoughts on them. Yeah, I would love to know as well. Please leave a cheeky thumbs up if you like this video, and please subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos from me in the future. Don't forget to hit the bell button so every time I post you will be notified immediately. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video very soon, guys. Bye.